Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. Man, this story is about Cory, right? But let me tell you about Cory when he was growing up, right? Because you're not going to understand this story unless you know what I'm saying, where he came from and this is going to help explain how he turned out to be the person that he is, right? Cory's daddy was in the game, right? He was a gang member running around up in the streets doing all kinds of things and using his son in a lot of the situations that he was involved in, right? His son was 7 years old, right? 7 years old. And one day, Cory's daddy was on a caper. Now, he went out on this caper, right? And this caper required him to be able to, for this caper to be successful, he had to be able to get into the house, right? So what he did, he used his son as a decoy, okay? Him and some other brothers used his son as a decoy to get into this particular house, right? Okay, now let me set it up a little bit better for you, right? The house that they were going to, right? It was supposed to be a recording studio, but it was really used by a drug dealer to sell his stuff and hide his money. And they needed to get up in there to make sure that, they'd be able to get the money and get up out of there, right? So a lot of times people would go to this house because they did record music there as well. Okay, so a lot of times people would go to the house and they would have their kids, and the dude would let them in and all this and that. Sometimes you didn't have to have an appointment; you could just drop by to see the place to decide if you really wanted to come back and all this and that. So he didn't mind any of that because the dude that ran the place, he wanted this place to be and look as legitimate as possible. Right? He didn't want people in the neighborhood to be tripping about it and all this because it was in a suburban neighborhood. It was in a nice neighborhood. So he didn't want people to think that, he's a drug dealer to that magnitude, which he was. But the people that were coming there, they were not all coming there to make music. They were coming there to drop off dope, pick up money, drop off money, all of that kind of stuff under the guise of what? Making music. So when Cory's daddy found out about this, and they found out this dude is moving some major weight, him and some of his other gang brothers decided, look, we finna get dude. Go knock him on off. We ain't finna play no games with him. We finna go up there and get this money and this dope. He can't call the police and say nothing because he'll lose everything. Because it's a nice house. It's a nice house. He'd pay for that house now. He'd pay for the house now. When you're in the game, that's the cost of doing business now. Something happens. Sometimes you lose. Sometimes you win. So anyway, so they all get together. It's four of them. It's four of them. Three other dudes, Cory's daddy, and then it's Cory. So it's five. It's four adults, one child. So when they get to the house, they knock on the door. Dude come to the door. He sees the little boy. So he opens the door. He ain't tripping. This is not unusual. This is normal. But he don't know who these people are. But when they open the door, guess what? Pop him upside the head and push him right on up in the house. And they all go in behind him. But just check this out. When the brother that hit him in the head hit him, he split him. I'm talking about when I say split him, he split him to the ooh wee good God. I'm talking about all the way. You know how when you hit somebody and you hit them so hard that it cut them, and you'll see the white meat first and then the blood? That's how he hit him. So when Cory's daddy seen that white meat, it freaked him out. This hardcore street dude, gang member, saw this white meat and then the blood. He strikes out running, leaves his son, right? Leaves his son right there. He goes out into the front yard and he throws up. He can't handle it. What is really going on, gang member? What is really going on? So anyway, one of the other boys, man, come on up in here, man. We got work to do. Get on up in here. So they gone up in the house, all of them up in there, right? And they tell Cory, sit down on the couch. Now they going through the house, tearing up everything, looking for any and everything they can find, right? Looking for any and everything that they can find. So they do find the dope. They found a lot of dope. I'm talking about keys of dope. And then they found a whole lot of money. I'm talking about satchels full of money. They thinking they rich. They done hit the jackpot. I'm talking about they had hit for a good one. Now they got dude tied up sitting on the couch next to Cory. Cory just sitting there looking at him. He's 7 years old. He's sitting there like any other 7-year-old, not saying a word. He's scared to death. He don't know what's going on, but he knows this ain't right. And the dude can see. The dude that's sitting next to him, the one that's being robbed, he can see that Cory is scared. He's shaking. This little boy is sitting there shaking, right? And then he pees on himself. So the dude that's being kidnapped, he whispers, he said, man, it's going to be okay, man. It's going to be okay. Now think about that. The dude that's being robbed by Cory's dad is comforting Cory. He's comforting this little boy. So then they come out. You feel me? They ain't got on no mask, no nothing. So you know what it is. You know what it is. They can't leave this dude alive, right? They can't leave him alive. So they grab Cory, pull him off the couch. 2 of them walk out. They got the money, the bags with the dope in it and everything. 2 of them walk out. 2 of them stay. One of them is Cory's daddy, right? They pull out the guns. About that time, you can hear the sirens. They on the way. They on the way. What they didn't know is that dude done hit the alarm button up under the sofa. He done hit that thing. So the police is on the way. Now they scared and spooked. They can't shoot him. They got to go. They got to go. And he tell him, man, just leave, man. I ain't going to say nothing, man. Just leave. Don't kill me. Please don't kill me. He begging for his life. Please don't kill me. So they look at each other, look at him, and then they just strike out running for the door. They all jump in the car, all 5 of them. They speed away. They rolling. They roll. They go the opposite direction so they won't pass the police because they know the police going to have to stop at the house. So they keep it moving. When they go in there, they see dude, he tied up on the couch, right? They untie him, take the little handkerchief out of his mouth and all this and that, and they ask him, are you okay? He's like, yeah. He said, they said, do you know who it was? He was like, yeah. He tells them, but I mean, when I say he knows who they were, he didn't know their names. He knows what they look like. He tells them, I know what they look like, but I ain't never seen these dudes before, blah, 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 this and that, right? So they said, okay, we're going to take you down to the police department and you can go through the mug shots and we'll see if we can pick out who these people were. He said, okay. So one of the officers looks and he sees the pee that's on the couch. It done settled into one of the grooves. And he smells it. And he said, you straight? Do you need to go to the hospital? He was like, nah. He said, that was the little boy that they brought with him. So the officer's like, what? They had a child in here with him? He was like, yes, sir. So anyway, the dude is being kidnapped. They go through the rest of the house. And look, lucky for him. Lucky for him. They took every stitch of dope, all the money and everything. So he was able to put his story on it, whatever he was going to put on it. Whatever he's going to put on it. He told him they robbed him for some money. He had a lot of money. They robbed him for that. He put a number on it, but it wasn't nowhere near the number that they took. But anyway, the point is that they were working for him now. That's what the police do. They protect and serve. They thought this man was a law-abiding citizen, trying to do the right thing. You understand? So now they're looking for Cory's dad and his friends and a little boy. So when they get out to the car, they put out an APB, all points bulletin, because he described the car to them. So they put out the APB on the car, 4 adults with 1 child in the car. But they rolling. They are rolling. And they get back to the house, and then they drop off little Cory, and they keep it moving. They go somewhere else. Now, they divvy up the money. Now, all of a sudden, months go by. They still ain't caught him. Now, the dude they got robbed, he know people. He know people. So he was able to reestablish his business and keep things going, right? But he's steadily finding out who these individuals are. Now, of course, when he was at the police department, he saw them in the book, and he said this and said that and pointed them out, but they haven't picked them up yet. But he knows who they are as well. You understand? So now, after several months, lo and behold, a situation comes, and he sees the little boy at a grocery store with this woman. He's assuming that it's his mother, grandmother, or somebody because she's an elderly woman and whatnot and all this and that, right? But anyway, he walks up to the boy, and the little boy freezes in his tracks. And he just stares at the boy as he's walking by. And the little boy looked at him. Neither one of them said a word. Not one word to each other. Now, the lady that was with the little boy, she said, "Cory, you okay?" He said, "Yes, ma'am." As soon as he got home, he told his daddy. He said, "I saw that man." So his daddy said, "What man you talking about?" He said, "That man you took me over to his house. I saw him today at the store, scared Cory's daddy to death. Scared him to death." He's like, "What'd he say?" He said, "Nothing." He didn't say nothing. He said, "Okay, so Cory's daddy go tell the other dudes, you know, now they all major now. They took that dope and that money and came all the way up. They shaking the spot now, but they're in a whole nother part of town. So now they're nervous though, because check this out. The dude that they robbed, when he got back out into that parking lot from that store, he followed little Cory then. They don't even know it. He followed. He sees where they live. Now he's plotting. It's going down. It's about to go down. So he gets to the area, and he tells some of his guys, "Look, I'm going to take care of something tonight." Now, what they didn't know, even though dude was trying to get his money in a low-key way, dude was really grimy. See, he came up in the game like that, a stick-up kid. So he understands this. You feel what I'm saying? But it's levels to this thing. It's levels to this thing now. A lot of people don't understand that. You don't just get away and everything's fine. It ain't happening like that all the time, y'all. So quit playing with your life and playing with the lives of the people that you love, right? But anyway, let me get back to the story, y'all. You know I be drifting off like that. So here's the thing. He know where little Cory live. And dude want his lick back. Ready to mask up, y'all. He mask up. He ride through there. He see everything. He kick in the door. He by himself. Ain't nobody there with that woman and little Cory. He still don't know who that woman really is, whether it's his mama or his grandma. But he kick in that door and he grab little Cory, drag him out, and throw him in the trunk of his car and drives off. Don't say nothing to the woman. Nothing. He don't tell that woman nothing. She panicking, hollering, crying, hollering for the police, for anybody. And he speeds away. He gets away. She don't even recognize the car, no nothing. He gets away. So she called Cory's dad and tells him, "Somebody just came in here and grabbed little Cory and took him out of here." He panics. "Where'd they go?" "I don't know." "What were they driving?" "I don't know." She don't know nothing. She don't know nothing. So now, the dude that they robbed, he got little Cory. And he telling them, "Look, you're going to be all right." They get to this other little stash spot. He tell him, he said, "Call your daddy." He give him the phone. He call his daddy, tell his daddy where he's at, who he's with. Dude want his daddy to come down right now. He need to see him. Now, see what dude is thinking, we're going to keep this in the streets. You feel what I'm saying? Now, even though when they took him down to the police department, he pointed them out. See, that's how all the crosses in the game come. See, some people want to keep it street. Some people want to stay and deal with the courthouse. Some people want it both ways. Well, here's the reality of this situation, y'all. Any other situation. People want it the way that's going to give them the best advantage. That's just what it is. You ain't got to like it. Whatever's going to give a person an advantage, that's the way they're going to do it, and they're going to say this is keeping it real. That on that. You don't get to decide what's real. No. The person that's dealing with the issue gets to decide what's real for them, y'all. That's just how it is. Y'all can say what you want to say, but let me know in the comment section. You feel what I'm saying? So check this out. This is what Cory had to do. Because this is what keeping it real for him meant. He called the police. Yes, y'all. He called the police and said that his son just called it turned out that it was his grandma. Said that his grandmama called him, said somebody just ran up into the house and kidnapped his son, and that he just received a call from his son saying that he needed to come to this address ASAP or he was going to get killed. Police jumped on it. They get to the place and surround the place, man. I'm talking about they got helicopters, they got the police, they got SWAT. They not playing. They got this little boy, he's in there terrified. They not finna play it. Let the boy go. Man, dude, look out there, man. He's like, man. He let the boy go. He didn't want to go out like that. He let the boy go. Then they bum rush the place. They throw little smoke bombs up in there and all kind of stuff. He come up out that thing. Get arrested. Go to jail for kidnapping. Kidnapping. Right? Now check this out. Time passed. He in jail back and forth with his lawyer, arguing about this, arguing about that. Next thing you know, the lawyer tell him, look here, man. This is it. This is it, man. They offer you a nifty 50. See, kidnapping ain't no joke, y'all. Kidnapping ain't no joke. So he tell him, man, go back and see if you can get it lower than that, man. So he said, man, we're going to go try this one more time. He said, but we got to get this, we got to get ready for trial in case they don't want to do this. Are you ready to go to trial? And dude keep trying to get it as low as he can. The DA finally come down to 35 years at 60%, which I'm going to tell you something. Back then, that was good because these kidnapping charges today, man, they make you do 85 and 100 on them, man. I'm telling you now. So he got 35 and 65, 60%. Maybe 60%. I misspoke. 35 and 60%, man. So he got to do that. This is before he's eligible for parole, y'all. You understand? So now he takes the deal and he goes to jail. And like everything in the streets and everybody in the street, life goes on, right? Life goes on. 5 years go by, 10 years go by. You know what I'm saying? Now, Cory is a young man playing in the streets, y'all. Playing in the streets. Now, what is he doing in the streets and why is he in the streets? I'm going to let you know that when you come back to tune into this next episode, right? This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.